line from Land's End and REI? Yes, because they don't carry big girl sizes in the stores. So yeah, in that case I do, but it's not through Amazon.
Yeah.
It's usually through individual retailers because that I already trust and know, not just random places. That's what I don't like about Amazon. I mean, that's why I have the stores. If I'm buying something from the Land's End or REI, I know I'm getting it from them. I know I'm getting that company's product. You don't actually know if you're going from some random person on Amazon, if you're getting a real item or a fake item. You have no idea. And there's a big issue with fake adult products out there. You buy from Amazon and there's 20 vendors, and you're buying widget A. All the widget A stuff goes in one big bin. So if you buy, even if you think you're buying from company A, they just reach into that bin. They don't know where it came from. People don't think about that. So if I'm going to get something from, if I'm going to get a Columbia jacket or if I'm going to get something like that, I want to get it from the company and their warehouses and their stuff where I know that someone did not knock it off. I don't know. That's me.
Well, they've got a promo that looks like a dildo. So anyway, we'll put it up on the Facebook page.
Oh, people have been doing, have you seen the folks for prostate awareness and all that sort of stuff, making the...
Yep, we talked about it last week.
I was giggling.
The GPS dildos.
And I'm like, oh, they had to have hit that because I'm like, that was all over. I'm like,
oh my God, the guy...
That is more work than I would ever put into something, but I loved the ones I was looking at.
The one, my favorite was the guy from New Zealand he was a pilot and he literally spent all this extra time on his flight plan just so that he could make a penis. And it was like, remember, Meg, we had the pictures, really funny. So yeah, absolutely. Speaking of penises, Caitlyn Jenner did the reassignment surgery. Did you guys hear about it?
No.
She had the goods removed, and I have to find the quote because I found it somewhat amusing, and I'm only amused because of the way that she herself treated this. I wouldn't normally, make fun, but he said, I'm just, it was really hard. I was just tired of trying to poke it around all the time. I was tired of tucking the damn thing in all the time. Direct quote.
Well, I can't imagine that it would be all that comfortable to bind anything, much like folks who have top surgery. It's very tough to bind all that down.
Yeah.
Bottom surgery with the same things. But depending on the, because I've known some folks that have gone through this, that it's quite an invasive procedure and then tucking in. And there's a lot of, if you're going through this, you really want a silicone dildo or a glass dildo. You want really good lube because you need to keep the pocket or your newly built vagina and cervix open.
Oh, no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Caitlyn Jenner just had the surgery in January, so theoretically she could still be healing right now. But she just got a $4 million advance for her memoir, The Secrets of My Life. And, she said, this is the first and last time I'm going to deal with it. So it's in the book, and I'm living authentically. Here's another quote, for the first time in my life. So, congratulations. But, I think that a lot of the focus was really more on kind of the interaction on the show between Caitlyn Jenner and the other trans people. And they had some very interesting disagreements.
Yeah.
And so I was focusing more on this individual getting along with the new community. And this came up. So this came as kind of a surprise because people weren't talking about this part of it. You know what I mean? They were just talking about her joining a new
community. Yeah. I mean, and having to, I don't watch the show. I can't watch. I just,
why does it bug you in some way or?
No, I just the whole idea of the Kardashians and Jenner and stuff like, I mean, I admire the business acumen of creating an empire out of the fact that your daughter got peed on in video. Okay. I find that fascinating. A book written on how they looked at this and said, how do we do this? And then what was the moment when they said, okay, they couldn't have known it was growing into this. So there had to be points along the past, like almost 20 years now, where, that they made the right decision. Did they know they made the right decision? I mean, how do what point do you realize, okay, we're going to own this and then we're going to spin it this way, and then it worked, and then they're like, okay, and so it has been a brilliant set of self-promotion that seems to, and they'll even weather the really bad Pepsi commercial, I think, because she's actually too young to understand why it was bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think she's fairly well insulated that way. But some of the other people around her, like her mother and stuff like that, should take a little bit more blame than a 19 or 20-year-old kid. They're idiots. And she probably had very little idea of really what she was doing, being as isolated as she is. So that's a separate, but I'm saying, but I think, they're sitting down and I said, I'll be curious to see how they weather that. Because that was horribly tone deaf. And you're going through, I'm like, but that's the part that's that's fascinating. But the day stuff that feeds is not. It's how they got there that's fascinating to me. What's going on day to day? No, just
the I Am Kate show. I've only seen parts of a couple episodes, and it really. There was no Kardashian aspect to it at all. Mm-hmm. It was all about Caitlyn and trying to kind of traveling with this crew, trying to be taught the ropes, so to speak. Well, I can see that, which is kind of interesting
because they're coming. She's coming from a place of incredible privilege, and then that most folks that are transitioning will never get to, doesn't have experience. So having to figure that out. Because everyone else I know, had, this is before GoFundMe, but had to solicit money for surgeries and do this. Yeah. This, they certainly didn't have, sponsorships for it.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of different.
It's a different world.
Well, speaking of public money, so to speak, the Alabama governor resigned yesterday. Did you guys hear about this?
I saw the headline this morning, but I did not have a chance to.
Alabama Love Gov, Republican Governor Robert Bentley resigned. Basically, he used campaign funds to cover up an affair. And so he's going to be in big trouble, which as well you should be for misappropriating that kind of thing. I'm sure there's way more of this than we ever know for all sorts of different reasons. So I'm glad that he's in trouble. He did have to work out a plea deal, required the resignation. He's going to have to serve a year of probation, perform 100 hours of community service. Sorry, but I don't think that's enough. Forfeit $36,000 in his campaign account and repay $9,000 spent on the legal fees for his former aide that he was having the affair with, Rebecca Caldwell Mason. So, okay, whatever. He lied. And really what got him in trouble wasn't the affair, it was the cover-up once again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did see that Alabama now has only their second female governor ever.
Oh, really?
Yep. Nice. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what's going through there, and if that makes any difference. But I saw cover up funds and affair, and I'm like,
yeah. And
then the hypocrisy once again.
Oh, it's awful.
Is fascinating.
And the question that I have is that they always say, is their sex life public business? Well. It is when you use campaign money to deal with your sex life. So yes, now it's very public.
And it is when your political philosophy denigrates mostly other women for, single mothers. And, when you spend a lot of time talking about other people's sex lives and how they have bad morals and, getting rid of birth control, and it's all the same. It's all the same thing.
Hypocrisy's a bitch when you get caught, man.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. And, the fact that that part just drives me insane.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Mm-hmm. It's a karma thing. Clearly it is. Okay. I don't know why I found this funny, but and especially because I read this story in an English accent in my head. I can't do it. I'm not good at it, but okay. So, there's a London police team that there was a house that was being used as a brothel. And even after they went in and shut down the official operations, they're still getting complaints from the neighbors saying there's naked women loitering outside, which I don't know a lot of guys that would call that one in. I think they'd just get out the old binocs and have a beer, But anyway, it says brothel closed, no girls here. No girls here. No girls allowed. No girls loitering. Can you imagine? If you have to put up a sign, all right, no girls, now off you go. Shoo, shoo.
Can get off my lawn.
I don't know.
But who's confused? Are the girls confused?
That's what I wanted to know.
I mean, did they not get arrested, or they're still like they went for the bathroom and then the whole place got stung and they came out like, "Hey, everybody, what's going on? Where'd everyone go?"
They got sent for the takeout. They came back.
No, this is over days. That's what's so funny. So they keep putting up different signs. No, brothel closed. No girls. And, oh God,
they're like cats. You got to get out the spray bottle. Get out of here.
Well, you fed them, so now they keep coming back.
Right? It's like the bears.
Oh, God. That's funny. But I don't know why that stuff is funnier when it happens in the UK. It just is. Poor guy. I mean, kind of a stupid move, but heart was in the right place. The grand gesture kind of proposals when people get signs and, whatever. Well, this guy kind of spray painted Michelle, marry me, I love you, with a heart and big red letters on the side of a building. And it happened to be a city-owned mall in Ohio. And so he took her and had to get the flashlight or whatever. And she said yes, but he also got a criminal mischief charge. So now this is a no contest plea, misdemeanor charge. He's going to have to... this is a little hardcore. 60 days in jail, fined $500, but the magistrate did suspend the jail term and all but 200 of the fine. So he's going to just have to pay for the sandblasting. So it's going to work out to be about that $500 fine. And he got his sentence suspended, and then he's going to have to do some community service. So, yeah. Poor dude.
It seems like,
good.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're that dumb.
Please don't reproduce.
You really should have to pay for your idiocy.
I feel like if I were the woman, I'd be like, I don't know about that. All right, fucking Banksy.
Leave it to Meg to put the reality spin on it.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm like, okay, and this is who someone made that poor of a choice, and you're going to say, yeah?
Right. Right.
Yeah, no. And that's just cracking me up. Good point, though. Good point, Meg.
Did they say how old the guy was? I'm curious.
Let me see. Let me check.
Because I'm just wondering if it's under 25.
Hang on. He's 23.
Yeah, brains aren't done
23. I've grown his brains.
And I think about, the idiot stuff that I did, like under 26. And, and the fact that, like I said, we'll never be on the internet forever because it didn't really exist.
Right. Aren't we? Don't you feel lucky? Isn't that one good freaking great perk to be in our age, Colleen?
Oh man, I can't even. I had a little sister, and I was like, how do you go through high school with social media?
Yeah, my kid. Yeah, it's just it's heartbreaking.
Terrible.
What kids do to other kids.
I think, okay, it's funny that you brought that up. God, we're getting into some really interesting social stuff today because there's a lot of that happening at the moment. But it's like, bullying has been around. And I know that with cyber, there's so many more channels for people to bully, but I really don't think kids are any meaner. They've always been mean. I mean, I was bullied as a kid.
No, they're not any meaner. They just have a bigger megaphone now.
Right, they do.
Yeah,
right.
Because when I was a kid, they used to have to beat me in actual person. Now they can just, kick you around in cyberspace.
Or like you have one girl that's teasing you in the hallway. Well, now that one girl has 300 Facebook friends, and they'll all play a game where they'll gang up on you and like spam all your posts, or even not even the bullying. Like I was kind of emo. I think of all the like, oh, my heart is black poetry. I'm so goth. Like, oh, God, what if I actually typed that and put it in public instead of my tiny little, like, leather-bound notebook? Oh, I'd be out there forever.
Yeah. I was a totally androgynous, looked a decade younger than I was most of my life.
Yeah.
So I just faded into
a baby face.
I just faded into the background. It was good, but that doesn't mean that I got picked on for looking like a boy and stuff like that. Most of the time, even then, I just like, whatever. And, I was really
looking
good.
Looking like a boy?
Well, yeah, I was just very tiny, very androgynous, no curves, nothing, and had short hair and stuff like that. So, and it was just like, whatever. I mean, I just didn't care. And so they did move on because I didn't react that much. But that was one, but like they weren't able to, they didn't have the escalation concepts that they have now.
Yeah.
And I think that's where things just take longer. They build fast and quick, and they last longer. Yes. Even if you do, I was reading about even if you become boring, even if you become, there's something called graystone and a whole bunch of stuff, you know, you're trying to get rid of someone, just don't react. You know,